The fluorescent lights at the hospital discharge pharmacy make everything look like a crime scene. It's 2 a.m., and I'm still shaking from the seizure, my temple throbbing where I hit the linoleum floor 3 hours ago. The bruise is already turning purple. I can see it reflected in the plexiglass barrier between me and Mr. Henderson, the night pharmacist. He slides the paper stapled to my discharge instructions across the counter. Vimpat, $650. Bimpat. I blink at the number. My hands won't stop tremoring. I grip the edge of the counter to steady them. My HSA card should cover it, I say. My voice sounds distant, like I'm hearing myself through water. My father manages the account. Mr. Henderson takes the card, swipes it. The machine beeps once, twice. Then a long, flat tone that sounds like a funeral dirge. Declined. Zero balance. The words don't make sense. I stare at the screen showing my name, my account number, and that impossible zero. That's not right. There should be money in there. Can you try again? He swipes it 3 more times. Same beep. Same zero. Says here the insurance requires prior authorization from the policyholder for this medication. He pushes the card back toward me. You'll need to contact them directly. The policyholder. My father. My phone feels like it weighs 10 pounds as I pull it from my coat pocket. The screen is cracked from when I fell. Everything tonight is cracked, broken, wrong. I step away from the counter, away from the line forming behind me, and dial. It rings 4 times. I count each one. This better be important, Rochelle. His voice is sharp, annoyed, not worried, not concerned that his daughter is calling from a hospital at 2 a.m. Dad, I'm at the pharmacy. They need authorization for my prescription, the Vimpat, and my HSA card declined. Can you approve it? Or transfer some money? Silence. Then a heavy sigh, the kind he uses when I've disappointed him again. There's been a routine IRS audit. All the accounts are temporarily frozen. Nothing I can do tonight. My heart hammers against my ribs. But I need this medication. The doctor said it's urgent. I had a seizure, Dad. A bad one. You're always having something. His tone shifts to irritation. I'm handling a financial situation right now. Can't this wait until morning? Can't this wait until morning? No. They said I could have another seizure without it. I need $650. Please. I hear rustling, voices in the background. Then his voice changes, becomes defensive, and I know I've caught him at something. Look, I just secured the 1,968 vintage Fender Stratocaster for Sterling's showcase tomorrow. $18,000. That's an investment. Your medication is a sunk cost. Go home and take a Tylenol. The words hit me like a second seizure. $18,000. For a guitar. While my HSA account sits at 0. Dad, I can't just take Tylenol. This isn't a headache. I was unconscious. I bit my tongue. I don't remember anything between smelling rotten eggs and waking up on the floor with paramedics over me. Don't be dramatic. It's just a headache. You've always been dramatic. The memory surfaces without permission. I'm 16 again, sitting in the SAT testing room, that sulfuric smell filling my nose, rotten eggs. I'd raised my hand, asked to be excused, said I felt sick. The proctor had called my father. He'd arrived furious, accused me of faking, of being lazy. Stop being lazy and dramatic, he'd said in front of everyone. I'd finished the test in a fog, unable to focus, and my scores reflected it. He'd been even angrier then. I should hang up. I should tell him what I really think. But the old programming kicks in, the one that's been running since I was a child. I'm sorry, I hear myself say. I'm sorry for waking you up. Just go home. We'll figure it out in the morning. The line goes dead. I stand there holding my phone, staring at Mr. Henderson through the plexiglass. He's watching me with something that might be pity. I shake my head, walk past him, past the other people waiting with their prescriptions, and push through the automatic doors into the parking lot. The November air hits my face, cold, sharp, real. My car sits under a streetlight, looking small and ordinary. I know I shouldn't drive. The discharge papers explicitly said not to. But an ambulance bill would finish destroying me financially. I climb in, grip the steering wheel with both hands to stop the shaking. That's when it hits me. Not another seizure. Something worse. A realization. If I had died on that linoleum floor tonight, he would have worried about the funeral costs. Not my life. Not me. The expense of disposing of his liability, daughter. I start the engine. I'm not dying tonight. Not for him. Not because he decided a guitar was worth more than my brain. I pull out of the parking lot, driving slowly, carefully, into the dark Denver streets. My hands still shake on the wheel, but it's different now. Not fear. Rage. 3 days. That's how long I've been rationing the pills my roommate's emergency loan bought me. 3 days of splitting tablets, of calculating hours between doses, of waking up at 4 a.m. to make sure the levels in my blood don't drop too low. I sit in Dr. Elias Thorne's waiting room, staring at the intake form on my lap. Previous neurologist visits. I leave it blank. I don't know the answer. Rochelle Thompson? Dr. Thorne doesn't look like the other neurologists I've seen. No fake smile, no clipboard held like a shield. He's maybe 60, with steel gray hair, and the kind of face that's seen too many liars to tolerate another one. You were non-compliant with your previous treatment plan, he says, pulling up something on his computer. Not a question, an accusation. I didn't know I had a treatment plan. He turns the monitor toward me. The federal database fills the screen. My name at the top. Below it, a list that makes my stomach drop. Patient no-show. Dr. Patricia Valdez, Neurology. April 2021. Patient no-show. Dr. Michael Reyes, Neurology. September 2021. Patient no-show. Denver Medical Center, Neurology Clinic. January 2022. 5 appointments over 4 years. 5 appointments I never knew existed. My parents told me I had anemia, I hear myself say. When I was 14, they said I just needed iron supplements. Dr. Thorne scrolls up. The diagnosis sits there in black text on white background, dated 10 years ago. Temporal lobe epilepsy. Not anemia, not teenage drama, not laziness, epilepsy. My father knew. For 10 years he knew. I need you to log into your patient portal, Dr. Thorne says. Pull up any records you have from your pediatrician. I try. Username, password. The spinning wheel. Access, denied. I try again. Same result. The 2-factor authentication must have reset, I say, but my voice sounds hollow. Let me try the recovery email. The recovery email bounces back. Address not found. Dr. Thorne leans forward, studies my face. Try calling the portal helpline. Right now. I dial. The automated system asks for my phone number to verify my identity. I enter it. I'm sorry. That number is not associated with this account. What number is on file? I ask the robot voice. It recites a number I don't recognize, but I know who it belongs to. My father's business line. Someone changed your contact information, Dr. Thorne says. His jaw tightens. Someone deliberately locked you out of your own medical records. My phone rings. Mom's photo on the screen. I answer because some part of me still believes she might help. Rochelle, honey. Her voice has that thin, stretched quality it gets when she's trying to keep peace. Your father got an alert that someone tried to access the insurance portal. That was me. I need my medical records. Well, you can't just go accessing things without asking. He manages those accounts for a reason. What reason? What possible reason would he have for hiding a diagnosis from me? Silence. Then, don't upset your father right before Sterling's big night. He's doing what's best for the family finances. Just be tough. I had a seizure, Mom. I could have died. You're always so dramatic. Your father says you're just stressed about school. In the background, I hear him. Is she calling about money again? My mother's voice drops to a whisper. Honey, I have to go. Just try to understand. This is hard for all of us. She hangs up. I sit there holding my dead phone. Dr. Thorne is writing something, his pen moving in sharp, angry strokes across the prescription pad. 30 days of Vimpat, he says. $650. Your insurance won't cover it without prior authorization, which your father controls. Do you have that money? I think of my bank account, the $847 I have left from my teaching assistant stipend. Rent is due in 12 days. That's $650. If I pay for the medication, I can't pay rent. If I pay rent, I seize. I look at my backpack on the floor. My MacBook Pro is inside, the one I've used for every architecture project for 3 years. My drafting equipment, my parallel ruler, my scale templates. Everything I need for my thesis. I'll figure it out, I say. Later that day, the pawn shop smells like old leather and desperation. The guy behind the counter barely looks at me as I unzip my backpack. MacBook Pro, 16-inch, 2 years old, I say. Drafting equipment, professional grade. He turns on the laptop, checks the specs, examines the tools like they're contaminated. $700. It's worth at least $1,200. Not to me, it's not. $700. Take it or leave it. I think about the Stratocaster. $18,000. For a guitar my father bought while I stood in a pharmacy at 2 a.m., shaking. $800, I say. Final offer. He shrugs. Fine, cash only. The bills feel obscene in my hand. I drive straight to a different pharmacy, one across town where they don't know my face. The pharmacist doesn't ask questions. Just takes my money, hands me the bottle. I sit in my car in the parking lot, holding the pills. My laptop is gone. My thesis drafting tools are gone. Everything I need to finish my degree, traded for 30 days of not dying. I open the bottle, take one pill with lukewarm water from a gas station bottle, swallow it down. My phone buzzes. A text from my father. Stop harassing your mother. Focus on school. I stare at the message. Then I put the pill bottle in my glove compartment, lock it, and grip the steering wheel with both hands. He thinks I'm weak. He thinks I'll break. But I just traded my future for my brain, and I'd do it again. That makes me stronger than he'll ever understand. The alert comes through on Garrick's phone while he's standing in the Thompson garage, admiring Sterling's new guitar case. Portal login attempt. Rochelle's credentials. Failed. I don't know this yet. I'm sitting in my dorm room at 9 a.m., staring at the locked patient portal screen, when my phone buzzes. A text from Dad. Stop acting out or I'll stop tuition payments. You're jealous of Sterling's success. My stomach drops. I hadn't expected him to notice so quickly. Hadn't expected him to care. A second text follows. This behavior is unacceptable. Get help. I set the phone down carefully, like it might explode. My hands want to shake, but I won't let them. Not anymore. What I don't see is the email he sends 30 seconds later. The one to Professor Marianne Caldwell, my graduate advisor. Subject line: Family emergency regarding Rochelle Thompson. The body reads: Rochelle is experiencing a mental health crisis. Please monitor her behavior carefully. She has become fixated on perceived family slights and may exhibit erratic conduct. We are concerned for her well-being and academic standing. He's building a narrative, making me the unstable one before I can tell anyone what he's done. But I have paper records. 3 days of discharge summaries, medication logs, and a diagnosis sheet from Dr. Thorne that clearly states temporal lobe epilepsy, diagnosed age 14, treatment delayed 10 years. I stack them in a manila folder and drive to Aunt Maura's house. Maura lives in a brick bungalow in Lakewood, 40 minutes west. I haven't seen her in 8 years. Dad made sure of that after Grandma's funeral. Maura's bitter about the will, he'd said. She's toxic. We don't associate with toxic people. I knock. Wait. The door opens, and Maura stands there looking exactly like I remember, just grayer. She has Dad's sharp jaw but kind eyes. Rochelle. Her voice cracks. My God, look at you. I don't know what she sees. Probably the bruise that's faded to yellow-green on my temple, the dark circles. The fact that I'm wearing the same coat I wore to Grandma's funeral because I can't afford to replace it. I need your help, I say. It's about Dad. She steps aside immediately. Come in. Her kitchen table is oak, scarred from decades of use. I spread my papers across it like evidence at a trial. Maura sits across from me, reading Dr. Thorne's notes with increasing tension in her jaw. He hid your epilepsy diagnosis for 10 years, she says finally. Not a question. A confirmation of something she already suspected. And he took my HSA card to zero while buying an $18,000 guitar for Sterling. Maura closes her eyes. When she opens them, they're wet. There's something you need to know. She stands, walks to a filing cabinet in her hallway, returns with a folder thicker than mine. The Thompson Family Trust. Your grandmother established it specifically for you. Medical needs and education. It should hold $150,000. The number doesn't compute. What? I'm listed as backup trustee. Your father is primary. When Mom died, she wanted to make sure you'd be taken care of. She knew about your seizures, Rochelle. She knew, and she was terrified Garrick wouldn't handle it properly. My vision tunnels. Why didn't you tell me? I haven't spoken to your father in 8 years. Not since he showed his true colors with our mother's will. He got the house, the cars, everything liquid. Mom only managed to protect this one thing for you, and she made me backup trustee as insurance. She slides the folder toward me, but I never had reason to access the account. I assumed he was managing it properly. The trust documents are official, notarized, dated 3 months before Grandma died. I read my name over and over. Beneficiary, Rochelle Marie Thompson. Purpose, medical care and educational expenses. Can you access it? My voice sounds strange, distant. Mora's already pulling out her laptop. I can try. Back at the Thompson house, something else is happening. Sterling is supposed to be at campus for a music theory class, but he came home sick. That's what he told Mom. Really? He needed his emergency credit card from Dad's office, the one for textbooks. He's walking past the den when he hears Dad's voice through the door. Low, urgent. I told you I'll have it by Friday. Sterling's showcase brings in investors. I've got 3 lined up who want to fund his first album. That's $20,000 minimum. Silence. Then, don't threaten me. I've been good for it before. Sterling freezes. His father's tone is wrong. Desperate. Dad doesn't do desperate. Fine. 15% interest. But I need until Friday. Loan shark. Sterling knows that tone from movies, from stories. His stomach turns over. He hears the chair scrape. He moves quickly, quietly back toward the kitchen. Gets there just as Dad emerges, phone already dialing another number. Sterling's heart hammers. He pulls out his phone, opens Venmo, types in Rochelle's username, $500. Everything he has from his part-time job at Guitar Center. His thumb hovers over the pay button. Give me that. Garrick is faster than he looks. He snatches the phone from Sterling's hand just as Sterling's thumb descends. The screen still glows with the confirmation prompt. You were going to send her money? Garrick looks at the screen, his face turning purple. He hits cancel with a violent tap and shoves the phone into his own pocket. You don't send her anything. Ever. Do you understand? She's my sister. She had a seizure. She's manipulating you. Dad's voice drops to something cold and precise. Rochelle is on drugs. Has been for months. That's why she's acting erratic, making up stories about medical conditions. She's using you because she resents your talent. She always has. The words should sound true. Dad's voice has that certainty it always does. But Sterling keeps hearing the phone conversation, the desperation. And he thinks about Rochelle at Thanksgiving 2 years ago, talking about her architecture thesis, her eyes bright with actual passion. I want my phone back. When you prove you can be trusted. Dad pockets it. You have a showcase in 36 hours. Focus on that. At Mora's kitchen table, the trust portal finally loads. Mora has entered her backup trustee credentials, gone through 2-factor authentication sent to her phone. The page refreshes. Account balance, $2,100. I stare at the number. Mora goes pale. That's impossible. There should be over $147,000 more. My hands are steady now. Perfectly steady. Show me the transaction history. She clicks. The list loads. Pages and pages of withdrawals. Most of them marked Specialized Educational Consulting, with payment going to something called Thompson Solutions LLC. That's a shell company. Mora says, I'd bet my house on it. I pull out my phone, search Thompson Solutions LLC. Nothing. No website, no business listing. A ghost company that exists only to drain my medical fund. Look at the dates. I point. Mora leans in. March 2019, $8,000 withdrawal. I Google Garrick Thompson gambling and find a Reddit post from that month about a poker tournament in Boulder. Big losses. October 2020, $12,000 withdrawal. Sterling's first professional guitar. The Martin D28. I remember Dad bragging about it. Last month, $18,000 withdrawal. The Fender Stratocaster. My brain surgery fund. He used my brain surgery fund to cover his gambling debts and buy Sterling's career. He stole from you. Mora's voice shakes with rage. He stole from his sick daughter to fund his golden child. I should feel destroyed, should feel betrayed. Instead, I feel something sharp and clear and cold sliding into place behind my ribs. We can sue, Maura says. We have everything. Bank records, trust documents, medical proof you were denied care. I shake my head slowly. He'll destroy my reputation and education before we ever reach court. He already started. He has power I don't have. I pause. Yet, Maura studies my face. What are you thinking? He thinks I'm just a sick, jealous girl. I need him to keep thinking that. I stack the papers carefully, precisely. My architectural training showing. I have 36 hours until Sterling's showcase. Time to use his arrogance against him. The expression on my face must be something new, something Maura hasn't seen before. She leans back, and I swear she's almost smiling. You're Gloria's granddaughter, after all. I drive back to campus with evidence that could destroy my father. But destruction isn't architecture. Architecture is about building something new from broken materials. And I'm an architect. 2 days later, they arrive at 3 p.m., while most students are still in afternoon classes. I watch them from my dorm window. Garrick's Mercedes pulls into the loading zone like he owns it, and Deidre emerges first, clutching her purse with both hands. The concerned mother costume is perfect. Navy cardigan, pearls, the whole performance. I open the door before they knock. Rochelle. Garrick doesn't ask to come in. He walks past me, scanning my room like he's cataloging evidence. Deidre follows, her eyes darting to my roommate's empty bed, the borrowed laptop on my desk, the pill organizer sitting on my nightstand. Where's your MacBook? He asks. Sold it. His jaw tightens. For drug money. For medication money, there's a difference. He pulls a manila folder from under his arm, sets it on my desk with deliberate care. The gesture is too practiced, too prepared. He's been planning this. I've been in contact with your graduate advisor, Dr. Pembroke. Showed her some concerning emails you've sent recently. Paranoid accusations about family finances, erratic behavior. She agrees you're experiencing a mental health crisis. My stomach drops. You contacted my advisor? I'm your father. I have every right to be concerned. He taps the folder. The laptop sale. These wild conspiracy theories about a trust fund. Your mother and I think you're having a drug-induced psychotic break. Deidre moves closer, her voice soft. Honey, we want to help you, but you need to admit you have a problem first. I look at her. Really look at her. She believes this. Or she's convinced herself to believe it because believing it is easier than facing what Garrick actually did. I don't have a drug problem. I have epilepsy. You know that. You've known it for 10 years. Garrick's face hardens. What we know is that you're jealous of your brother. You're trying to sabotage his showcase because you can't stand seeing him succeed. The accusation is so absurd I almost laugh. But then I see the printed emails in his folder. My messages to Aunt Maura. My attempt to access the trust portal. He's been monitoring everything. Stop harassing the family, he says. His voice drops lower, becomes almost gentle. The tone he uses right before he destroys something. Or, I'll file for an emergency conservatorship. I have a psychiatrist willing to sign the papers. You'll be in a psychiatric ward by tomorrow morning. The threat lands like a physical blow. He could do it. He has the documentation, the narrative, the concerned parent routine perfected. Who would they believe? The successful businessman or his sick daughter who sold her laptop and made wild accusations about embezzlement? Deidre touches my arm. Please, sweetheart, just agree to get help. We can postpone your graduation. Take some time off. Take time off. Drop out. Disappear quietly while Garrick covers his tracks and Sterling gets his showcase and everything goes back to normal. Everyone wins except me. I feel something shift inside my chest. Not panic. Strategy. I think about Aunt Maura's words 2 days ago. He thinks you're weak. Use that. My hands start shaking. Not from the medication or fear, from the effort of making them shake on purpose. I let my knees buckle slightly, catch myself on the desk. Dad. My voice cracks perfectly. Dad, I'm sorry. He blinks. Wasn't expecting that. I sink onto my bed. Let the tears come. They're surprisingly easy. Everything from the past 6 days is right there, ready to spill over. The pharmacy rejection, the pawn shop, the trust fund balance. I just redirect it, reshape it into what he needs to see. The seizure. I sob. It messed me up. I was confused, paranoid. I thought you were trying to hurt me, but that's crazy. You're my father. You wouldn't do that. Deidre kneels beside me. Oh, honey. I made everything up in my head. The trust fund, the invoices. I was looking for someone to blame for being sick. I grab her hand, squeeze it. I didn't mean to cause trouble. Please don't lock me up. Garrett crosses his arms, still wary. You need professional help, Rochelle. I know. I'll get it. I'll go to counseling. I'll do whatever you want. I look up at him through tears. Just don't commit me. Please. I'll leave town. I'll drop out after Sterling's showcase tomorrow. I'll disappear. You'll never have to deal with me again. The room goes quiet. I can hear the radiator ticking, someone's music playing down the hall. Just keep me on the health insurance, I whisper. That's all I ask. Please. Deidre's face crumbles. She pulls me into a hug that feels almost real. Of course you'll stay on our insurance. You're still our daughter. Garrick studies me for a long moment. I keep my face buried against Deidre's shoulder, let my body shake with sobs. I can feel him deciding, weighing options, calculating outcomes. Finally, he sighs. All right, but I want you gone by Monday, and if you contact Maura again, or spread any more lies about this family, the deal is off. Understood? I nod against Deidre's cardigan. Good girl. He actually pats my head. Like I'm a dog that's learned a trick. Come to the showcase tomorrow night. At the Rusty Anchor. Say goodbye to Sterling properly. Show everyone you're still part of this family. Thank you, I choke out. Thank you, Dad. They leave 20 minutes later, after Deidre makes me promise to eat something, and Garrett confirms I'll be at the Rusty Anchor by 8 p.m. I walk them to the parking lot, wave as they drive away. Back in my room, I close the door. Lock it. The tears stop like someone flipped a switch. I open my roommate's laptop. The files are exactly where I left them. Trust documents, invoices. Timeline. All uploaded to 3 separate cloud accounts this morning. Maura has copies. My attorney has copies. The IRS received their package at 9 a.m. My phone is already in my hand. He took the bait. I text Maura. Tomorrow at the Rusty Anchor. 8 p.m. Be ready. She responds immediately. 3 words. I'll be there. I set the phone down, look at my reflection in the dark window. The girl staring back doesn't look broken anymore. She looks sharp, focused, dangerous. He thinks I'm leaving town. Running away like I always do. Apologizing like I always have. He has no idea I'm just getting started. Tomorrow night, in front of his investors and friends and extended family, Garrick Thompson is going to learn what it costs to steal from a sick daughter. He's going to learn that the broken girl he patted on the head today has been building a trap for 6 days, and tomorrow at 8 p.m., that trap is going to snap shut around his throat. I smile at my reflection. It's not a nice smile. That's my good girl, I whisper, mocking his words. Then I open the laptop and start drafting the presentation slides. The next evening, the Rusty Anchor smells like beer and desperation. I arrive at 7:45 p.m., slipping through the back entrance near the loading dock while the front doors are clogged with investors in expensive suits and family friends air-kissing each other. The crowd is larger than I expected. Garrick has outdone himself. Through the backstage curtain gap, I can see him holding court in the VIP section. The 1968 vintage Fender Stratocaster sits on a display stand beside him like a trophy, stage lights catching the sunburst finish. $18,000 of stolen money, polished and gleaming. This guitar represents sacrifice, Garrick announces to the cluster of potential investors around him. His voice carries that practiced humility that makes my stomach turn. A real investment in real talent. Deidre sits beside him in a cream dress, smiling that frozen smile she perfected years ago. The perfect supporting wife. She's laughing at something someone said, touching Garrick's arm, playing her role flawlessly. I check my phone. The files are uploaded to the cloud. Maura confirmed the IRS and probate court received everything this morning at 9. By 3 this afternoon, his accounts were frozen. He doesn't know it yet. Sterling is doing his sound check on stage, running through scales on a borrowed amp. He looks nervous, keeps glancing toward the VIP section for approval. My chest tightens watching him. He has no idea what's coming. The stage tech is adjusting the projector aimed at the massive screen behind the drum kit. Perfect. I move toward him, holding my phone out. Hey, I'm with the family. Mind if I queue up some photos for between sets? Dad wanted a slideshow. He barely looks at me, just waves toward the connection panel. Sure. Input 3. And here. He tosses me a wireless presentation clicker. It's paired to the system. Thanks. My hands are steady as I connect my phone to the console and hide it behind the mixing board. The screen flickers to life, currently displaying the venue's logo. I keep the files minimized, clutching the small black remote in my palm like a weapon. Sterling finishes his warm-up and sets the borrowed guitar down, reaching for the Stratocaster. The weight of it changes his posture. He stands taller, holding it. It's 8 p.m. I walk onto the stage. Sterling sees me, his eyes widening with confusion. I take the microphone from the stand before anyone can stop me. The room doesn't go quiet immediately. Conversations continue. Someone laughs. A glass clinks. Then I click the remote. The screen behind me illuminates with the first image. Thompson Family Trust. Balance, $150,000. Date, January 2015. The conversations start dying. Thompson Family Trust. Balance, $2,100. Date, October 2024. Now I have their attention. You didn't buy that guitar with hard work, Dad. My voice comes out clear, projected. I sound like someone giving an architectural presentation, calm and factual. You bought it with my brain surgery fund. Over $147,000 embezzled from Grandma's trust over 10 years. Click. The screen cycles to the next image. Invoice after invoice to Garrick's shell company, labeled Specialized Educational Consulting. The dates line up perfectly with his known gambling losses. I'd marked them in red, and $18,000 of that went directly into this guitar. Garrick is already moving. His chair screeches back. His face goes from tan to purple in seconds, veins standing out on his neck. He charges the stage like I knew he would. Like I needed him to. You have no right, he screams. I am the trustee. I decide where the money goes. Perfect. Keep going. I invested in the asset. He's jabbing his finger at Sterling, at the guitar. Sterling, you are a liability, Rochelle. You're a sick money pit who would have wasted it on pills. The room goes absolutely silent. Someone's phone is up, recording. I can see the red dot from here. Several phones. Everyone is capturing this. His own words, in front of investors, family, friends, extended relatives. He's destroyed himself. Sterling stands frozen, holding the $18,000 guitar. His face has gone white. He's staring at Garrick like he's seeing him for the first time. Dad. Sterling's voice cracks. She's your daughter. She's a liability. Garrick repeats it, spittle flying. A sunk cost. I made the right financial decision. Sterling looks down at the Stratocaster in his hands. The stage lights catch the finish, that perfect vintage sunburst. He runs his thumb over the strings once. Then he grips it by the neck. If this is an investment, Sterling says quietly, I'm liquidating it. He lifts the guitar high over his head. For a moment, everyone thinks he's just posturing. Then he brings it down. The impact echoes through the venue like a gunshot. Wood splinters. The neck cracks but doesn't separate completely. Electronics shatter, components scattering across the stage floor. Strings snap with musical pings. Sterling lifts it again, smashes it down harder. Again. And again. Don't you ever. Smash. Use her life. Smash. To buy my fame. The final impact splits the body completely in half. Sterling is breathing hard, standing in the wreckage. His hands are bleeding from the broken strings. He's crying. The room is frozen. Nobody moves. I step forward, still holding the microphone. My voice is steady. I didn't just make a slideshow, Dad. Aunt Maura sent these files to the IRS and probate court this morning. Your assets were frozen as of 3 p.m. today. The audit you lied about? Now it's real. Deidre's face changes. That frozen smile finally cracks. What? Her voice is small. Try your credit card, I tell her. Try any account. They're all frozen, pending investigation. She fumbles for her phone. I watch her try to log into their bank app. Watch her face drain of color as the holds appear. Garrick? Her voice rises to a panicked pitch. Garrick, what did you do? But Garrick isn't looking at her. He's staring at the shattered guitar, at the investors already backing toward the exit. at his son, standing in the debris of his investment. Someone in the crowd speaks up. I want my name removed from any association with this venture. Another voice. My attorney will be contacting you. They're leaving, one by one, then in clusters. The VIP section empties. Family friends suddenly remember other obligations. Extended relatives develop urgent reasons to depart. Within 5 minutes, the venue is half empty. Garrick stands alone in the space that was packed with admirers. His investment, his Golden Boy showcase, his perfectly crafted narrative, all destroyed. The shattered guitar pieces scattered at his feet like evidence. Sterling sets down the broken neck carefully, almost reverently. He walks past Garrick without looking at him, climbs down from the stage, and comes to stand beside me. I'm sorry, he whispers. I didn't know. I know. I squeeze his shoulder. You do now. Garrick finally speaks. His voice is hoarse. You've destroyed this family. No, Dad. I meet his eyes. I survived it. The morning light fills my new apartment the way it never did in that dorm room. 6 months since the showcase. 6 months since Sterling destroyed an $18,000 guitar to prove I was worth more than wood and strings. Unit 4B isn't much. Second-hand furniture from Craigslist. Plants on the windowsill that I've somehow kept alive, but it's mine. 8 o'clock. I stand at the kitchen counter with my pill organizer. I pop Tuesday open and shake the Vimpat into my palm. 1 pill. I swallow it with coffee. No shaking hands, no panic, just routine. 6 months, seizure-free. I open my mail, and there it is. The envelope with the state seal, driver's license. Reinstated. The photo is terrible, but I'm smiling. I run my thumb over the laminated surface, and something cracks open in my chest that isn't pain. My phone buzzes. Mom's name appears. I watch it ring. It goes to voicemail. Rochelle, please. Her voice is thin, desperate. The bank is foreclosing. Your father's accounts are still frozen. We'll be homeless. You have to help us. Family helps family. The old Rochelle would already be opening her banking app, would be driving across town to save people who let her brain starve. I open my texts instead. You sold me out to keep that house 10 years ago. You had the medicine in your hand and threw it away. I'm not saving you this time. Send. I block the number before she can respond. No hesitation. No guilt. Just a clean boundary. Held. The trust fund came through probate 2 months ago. The forensic accountants found Garrick had stashed assets in a separate holdings account. The court liquidated his Mercedes and the studio equipment, and since the trust was a preferred creditor, I got paid before the banks took the house. $89,000 after legal fees. Maura helped me set it up the way Grandma intended. Tuition paid in full, medical expenses covered. A new MacBook Pro for my thesis work. Dr. Thorne's last appointment, he'd studied me. You're managing this beautifully. Not surviving. Managing. I see Maura every Sunday for brunch now. Therapy every Wednesday at 4. Processing what it means when your parents choose a house over your life. Someone knocks. 3 quick raps. Sterling stands there, acoustic guitar case in one hand, backpack over his shoulder. 20 now. Working 2 part-time jobs and taking classes at community college. Brought lunch. He holds up a sandwich bag. And this. He pulls out a folded $50 bill. Sterling. No. It's my monthly payment. For the pawn shop debt. I told you that's settled. And I told you I'm paying you back anyway. He pushes past me. Sets the 50 on the counter. You sold your laptop so you could live. We eat at my coffee table, and he tells me about his music theory professor, about the open mic night he played last Thursday. His voice is lighter now, not carrying the weight of being the golden child anymore. After lunch, he pulls out the acoustic guitar, plays something simple and sweet. I return to my drafting table by the window, sketching elevations for my thesis. The afternoon light stretches across the floor between us. 2 siblings in a modest apartment, both free. When he leaves at 5, I watch him walk to the bus stop, guitar case bouncing against his back. Then I see my driver's license on the fridge, held by a magnet shaped like a tiny house. I pull out my journal and write. I used to think love meant sacrifice. Dad taught me love is a transaction. Assets and liabilities. But Sterling showed me love is smashing a guitar when your sister's life is worth more than wood and strings. I didn't just survive. I won. I close the journal and look around Unit 4B. The plants, the furniture, the MacBook Pro, the pill organizer on the counter, Tuesday's compartment empty. Mine. All of it. Mine.